Yeah, better. Good. I think that too is gonna, like anything, make them rounder today. A week from now, he might be too round. Make them higher tomorrow. A week from now, he might be too high. With the power there as well, that's pretty much the maximum, right? What you need, because then he starts. If you go beyond that, that starts to get to that little swim zone where those front legs start to swim a little away from the hind legs. But that's still pretty good there. That's not too much where you're at. But that then becomes the danger on the other side of all that push. Good. Half pass was really good right away. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Quite good to start with those, actually. Thinking left one maybe a little more than the right. That angle bend looked okay. Just that little flutter where he kind of pops up away from that outside rein. Aimed at the letter, you just kind of close both hands, close both legs. There, yeah. And go make sure, if I basically want to accelerate inside that half pass, if I were to kind of close the leg and squeeze for stride, connection, ground cover, power, it powers into the bridle. No more neck bend. Just again that he doesn't look past the end letter. Good. Yeah, super, super. Way more flow to that too today, right away with the half passes. That pelvis tucked under, and it's that mindset of if I get all the coil working, that's good under, good, right, better, yeah. If I get them that coil, it takes a minute, but they start finding more swing, more lift, where the legs in a good way get slower and start stepping bigger versus slower like they're going to quit. But it kind of does take a little bit sometimes that just, let me see what he does if I just trust this for a minute to shuffle, as long as it doesn't quit. Good, Kenner's good right away. Yeah. Good power to jump to it, nice. Super. Maybe again just an inch shorter in the rein, no lower in the frame, and you start out a little bit of the haunches in for the style. Good. Really swinging in with your seat to help regulate tempo. Come out just for a second. Good. Excellent sitting there, right? Like really good coming under. Very slight slowing in the tempo. That's what gave you that little weird, the falter step in there where, and so that's that moment I'm coming out to just take a mental note, right? To kind of go, okay, wait a minute. I love the sitting. I don't think I'd change that. I might just kind of go in the next time going, let me see if I could just keep a little quicker feel going in, but I don't want to overcorrect that because the sitting was so good. So you just start to come in again, light tickle, quick, good. Touch more forward in the ground cover just a little. That's great on the sitting though, super. There it is. Yeah, nice. Because you can really set a metronome to no slowing, touch more ground covering, good. Keep it quick. There it's back, yep. And out again, super, yeah. It's a little like the piaffe in there, you kind of go, wait a minute, should I trust that? Can I just let him sit there a second? Versus like other times where I'm like, fuck, don't let him do it, panic, hit it, like change it now, because it's gonna get lost, right? There I'm thinking like it did, we're just trusting it, like that's why I had you ride out the one time, I'm like, oh wait a minute, that's exceptional, the amount of sitting. So you just come at it a second time, instead of making a big deal correction in there, you just come at it the next time going, can I maybe keep that from happening this next time, but not change anything else? saved, right. Swinging with the seat, tempo, tempo. Good, yeah, nice. And that's good, like that width, kind of like the the half steps, where you go, let me see if I could just help a little in there, keep you from slowing or help remind you to stay quick versus needing really a correction in there. Walk when you're ready, that's super. Yeah, good, right. Super transition. That's the most sitting I think I've seen him in those pirouettes, right? Like that, when he came in, he really just sat right down, both hind legs didn't look funky. Oh. That's good. There you go. That's plenty. Good. And that's where, like, again, that's that hard spot of, like, do I correct the quitting, right? Yes, I'd correct the quitting. But I'd also be going, he's under, he's there. So if that's good. If there's that spot, I can just help him figure out how to turn that shuffle into more diagonal steps. Good. That's fine, yeah. Even if you have to kind of jump him out of it and go, listen, you can't ignore my whip. I can't hit you that hard and nothing happens. Good. Right. And a walk in. That's good, yeah. That's where you want to kind of watch the video because you're having so many good steps of them under. But again, the feeling is not dynamic, yeah. Like when you first started and he kind of reined back and he thought of almost rearing the ones, that was the best, where he was actually kind of really tucked under and sitting, and it was a little, that's good, where it was a little shuffly feeling. You got it. And a walk again, like that's plenty there. Good. So it just gets, like I said, the shuffle is fine. It will keep evolving, right? As long as you keep going, sitting it, driving it under, tucking it. That's the tricky part though, because you put a little pressure on to tuck it under and they sometimes quit, right? Or they feel like they're quitting. And that's that little magic spot of, can I trust them? How much do I correct them? Can I help them? That's good. Light with the whip on the croup. Tick, 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 and a walk. Good. That's one of the most under. That's the one where it's like, it doesn't feel like anything's happening. But he's like just crawling, creeping his hind legs under him. Good. That's the bit of shuffle that, yeah, good, you got it. You can absolutely go, you can't ignore me. And then you come back to that little shuffle again a second and go, but now tuck back under. Even, yep. Even if you need the rein back again mixed in, going, don't crawl away from your own hind legs, because that's where you start to leave your hind leg out the back door, and we start losing the energy feeling. There's good. Yep, plenty, good. Because that tucked back under again and got trot-like again.
Starting to feel.
It's really like a ridiculously subtle feeling, right? But once you feel it, you're kind of like, oh, that one's okay. Even though, like I said, it might not feel like much, and then you'll get another one where you go, that one felt like this, but it's really not okay. I think a little bit too, the once or twice where you have to really correct them, that's good right away. Good. Little too forward, but good reactive. That's the one where I might just add the rein back in right away, where I'm like, just quietly get back here. Good, plenty, and start again, right out of the rein back where it's there. Good. Way better. And a walk. Good. Yeah, super. So where you feel it starting to just creep you forward, you'll lose energy, right? And instead of trying to drag them back or re-energize them, that's where I think I might just throw that rein back in real quick. And all you need, I mean, which is easier said than done. It's like if you get 2 rein back steps, you're good to go again. Usually they get stuck in reverse for 3 or 4 steps, but all you're trying to do is just rock them back away from the hand so that you can go back to driving them to come under versus, try to drag you forward. Yeah, great with the jump of the canter. Good. Plenty of neck bend, no more. Like the lightning, that's super. And then you start to have a little bit of the haunches in. Be thinking of that tempo, regulatory control. No, slow it down, that's good. Yep. Good, super. Keep the ground cover thought. And that's just to keep thinking of reaching up and out with the front legs. And come out, excellent. Yeah, super. That was good there too, like I was gonna say, keep trusting that, just to see what he does with it, right? If he quits in there or walks in there, I'd make a pretty big correction. Otherwise, like I said, just maybe help him a teeny bit. So I just kind of go, don't quit, come on, you're good. Because I feel like it's so close to just locking in to where it needs to be, where they kind of go, oh, I just have to do this. Like that's my minimum, right? If I do that, I get in trouble. I don't need to overdo it in terms of working harder than that, but I just kind of can live here and be basically left alone in a sense. Good. Nice. That's good with the tempo you got. You just keep turning the forehand, bring it around, sitting back, keeping them down behind. Great. Great. And out. Super. The one stride that it wobbled, that was perfect. You didn't correct, and that's the trust stride. If you would have swapped leads behind right there, if you would have, I would get after him. But that's the stride where he kind of learns to just be more self-sustaining, to kind of go, I got this. And they start kind of just taking that breath into the little, I hate to say like they relax about the mistake, but it's almost like they relax about the mistake. So as they make the mistake, their body doesn't tighten, they just recover. That was super small too, that one, nicely sitting them down, upper body back, just a touch, just to help kind of rock that whole forehand back onto the hind leg. Nice. That's super. Yeah, super. If that's that reliable now, like then it, I so compartmentalize those things a bit about going. I don't work them from the straight line, for I hate to say for years, but I don't make that any kind of priority for me. I make that a priority where I can just spiral in like that, not think about it. I could put the reins in one hand, I could check a text message, eat a candy bar, have a sip of coffee, and ride out and not think twice. Then I'd start to put it on a straight line. That's looked like that to me, right? Where you start to want to train that on the straight line, where you go, I want to feel like I can just canter, normal, full power, obviously bring it back, sitting down, and repeat the spiral, but doing it basically from a standstill, from not traveling forward in the canter. Say it again.
I said, wasn't so terrible.
No, that was good. You sat him right down. Just a little abrupt, but he sat down. That's a bit what you're doing there with those changes now. What I was getting at yesterday with, just releasing and letting them be big and kind of just playing with the, for him, I'm thinking of it as looseness in the change, but that's where the quality comes from, right? As the looser, more laid back his body gets about the change, the more expression starts to happen in the change. The less I have to hold him back or hold them together, or I sometimes think of it as like, man, make the change. The more I can just half halt change without much thought, then the tempis, the sequences become ridiculously easy. Nice, canter looks great, yeah. And you keep what you're already kind of doing, you keep mixing in a little bit of that forward back canter's perfect there for it. Let's keep going, yep. Get it again, yeah. Keep lightening, yep. Watch this one just because he's going to want to swing a little left with the hind leg. Keep it jumping. There it is with the tempo. Good. I love where you put it though. I love the idea. I think honestly that one was bad in the sense of it was a late one because he couldn't twist out. He couldn't kind of get away from you. That's the learning curve, the learning process now with going, let him make the mistakes. As he gets, I always feel like with the changes at this point, the more laid back they get, meaning they're kind of blasé, they make a mistake here or there, but they're not getting riled up because we're trying to make it too perfect. Then you can actually sit in and ride them and go, listen, I'm not going to give you even that one opportunity to dip, to get away, to tuck, to kind of ignore me. I'm going to start riding them a little good, yeah. A little tougher if I need to, because I know it's not going to ruin the next one, because you're in this good laid back mindset. I might have put his tongue over. Super. Yeah, exactly. And even think maybe you just, as you bring them back, put a change in again at the end. Good. I would do, like if he'll let you, I would try to do a lot of that mixed in. It's still too light feeling. Good. Super with the canter, yeah, yeah. Nice, love it. Good. That was one of the loosest changes, right? Whether or not kind of perfect on the half halt, I go, it doesn't matter. That's the quality of flying change we're trying to get out of them. Good. That would have been a good spot too there on the short side, just to make the mental note about the quality of canter. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Super, good. I love the left to right one you did just a second ago on this last wall here. Just in that it was, like I said, straight, loose. There wasn't that little bit of swing that he can give with the haunches left. Perfect, good. Try another one if you can before the corner. Yeah, excellent. Just because like the moment, take advantage of it, right? It was there for it, right for it. Those are better than yesterday already, quite a bit looser. Love it. If he's good, do the change at the end, like you're just riding extended canter, collect change. If not, make them counter canter. But if it's there, those are your days. Yep, super. Yeah, that's your time to kind of take that little well-calculated risk, right? It's like the stars are aligning, go for it. That one was great. Love it. Yeah. Super.
Can I take that?
Yeah. Right. Those were super the last year. You might have to just adjust that feeling a little to go, it might feel like the haunches are trailing, but that might be a little more correct right now if he's just the teensiest bit trailing versus too parallel. That made a big difference in the trot ones today. Great with the jump to the canter, good. Yeah. Plenty of neck bend this side. Super. Yeah, way good, way good. Love it, good. Good. Yeah, I was gonna say that would be a good spot for the change. Clean change. Just every once in a while, and that one is a little awkward with the left hind leg engagement, but it's still a clean, good change. It just has that stutter feel through the back. Right with the jump. If you feel there. So those two now in the half pass, if you notice, you're keeping that nice jumpy, boundy feeling. Canter isn't getting sticky. You're not nice. You're not getting any stiffness in there. At that point, if you feel like you absolutely have the canter quality control, it hasn't changed, you haven't lost it, there's no struggle to sustain it, then I might look at that half pass and go, do I need to add more haunches? I don't feel like you need to right there. But I'm gonna ride them pretty kind of maybe haunches trailing, trot and canter right now. And go, let me keep, there it is, good. Let me keep the canter quality, good, nice. Or the trot quality, and again, that's perfectly parallel. Yeah. Good with the power, yep. Good. I like that idea of adding that little bit of jump power as you're thinking about the change.
Bluetooth connected.
Good, super, super. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's still a clean change. That's what I said. It just gets awkward, and I can't hold that against him, right? Because he kind of has that sometimes.